Will we ever build 300,000 homes a year in the UK? Today, I'm joined by the wonderful Richard Donnell, who is the research director of Zoopla. Richard, do you think we'll ever get to 300,000 new homes a year? Labour promised 1.5 million over 5 years. That's what 300 works out at. Is it going to happen? Talk to me.
It could happen, but it's going to take a few years to build up momentum to get there, basically. And I think the government's really deadly serious. The question is, does the government realise all the levers it has to pull? Right, it's done some amazing things. It's reformed the planning system. There's more proposals and changes coming around devolution, giving local government more power around all this stuff. It's put money in. It's probably overstating how important the money is. For me, the money is just taken us back to table stakes and where we need to be. I think the one area the government's not really thought about is there's almost an assumption that there's going to be people to buy all these homes. And what worries house builders the most and agents is, where's the demand coming from? Not just private home buyer demand in a world where we turned off Help to Buy 3 years ago in 2022, but also housing associations buying affordable housing, corporate investors buying new homes to rent out. Those two groups have been affected by higher borrowing costs, less grant from government. So builders are generally concerned about the demand for property. And they're also concerned about the fact there's so many homes for sale in the second-hand market. We've got this 10-year high of homes for sale on estate agents' books, that new homes is sort of losing its market share, losing its visibility. And so actually, when we look on Zoopla, we can see that, the new homes buyer inquiries for new homes are struggling to keep up with the resale market just because builders market locally, but on a pure listings basis, builders have lost some market share. So I think builders need to get more confident on demand. There is some talk, and the Home Builders Federation saying, let's bring back Help to Buy to stimulate demand. Let's keep making sure housing associations get the money to build. But I think the building industry needs to see much more certainty and strength of demand before it starts building more homes. And last year we built 220,000 homes, so 80,000 short of the target. That's going to drop in the short term. So really, we've made all the planning changes. It's really unlocking the demand side to get the homes built.
Does local authority housing form part of that 300,000?
It does, yeah. It includes affordable housing and social housing, basically. But again, building social homes on the lowest rents costs a lot of money, basically. So typically a house builder, house builders build most of our homes in this country. Your house builders, 20 to 30% of what they build is affordable or social housing. It's bought by housing associations or local authorities to rent at lower rents, basically. And that's what all the spending review recently was all about, putting money in the hands of Homes England, of housing associations to give them the confidence to bid for property. Because we had this crazy position only 9 months ago where housing associations just didn't even want to bid for homes that house builders were building, which is a bit of a challenge if you can't even sell the affordable homes you're building. It means you're not going to sort of get on and build the rest of the stuff. So I think we will get there. And I think estate agents are really important for this because, estate agents list more new homes than house builders do, basically. And so, again, a lot of agents have got successful land and new homes businesses. So I think it's about how agents think about advising their house builder clients on how to kind of maximize the reach for their product.
Do you think that home build premium's too high? And just for anyone that doesn't know what that is that you pay more per square foot for a brand new home than you do a second-hand home.
It varies around the country, right? So there's two things I would say. So yeah, there is what's called a new build premium, and there used to be sort of, if house prices didn't go up, there would be a value erosion effectively, and we've got charts to look at that. What I would say is more in the last few years, because the building regs have improved and build standards have gone up, new build's holding its value now, basically. So it is.
No.
It's holding its value.
What, so like a resale after 2 years?
Yeah.
Compared to if it was a
Yeah.
second hand?
Compared to say 15 or 20 years ago,
Yeah, because 15, 20 years ago, when I were selling houses,
Yeah.
when I had dark hair, You put the key in the door and you'd lost 15%, 20 even sometimes.
But that's not the case nowadays, basically. Number one. Number two, look, if you go to the north of England and you compare the price of a resale property versus a new build, because of there's a less high quality housing in some parts of the area, builders are able to get, a bigger price for a new build property to a second-hand property. But come to London, come to the south of England, actually the average value of a new home is less than the second-hand market, basically. So mainly
Oh, but
through
is that like for like though?
it's mixed. So they've changed. It's not like for like, but they've changed the mix basically. So they're building more three-bed homes, two-bed homes. But again, I think so. Builders are price takers. They are price setters, but they're trying to hit a sales target, right? They're trying to hit a certain sales rate. That's what they really care about, is hitting a certain sales rate.
Because
And
that's
so I
why when
think,
they go into a new home site, they won't build it all. They'll only build as fast as they can sell them.
but I think the point here is, I think builders do realize this. And so there's clear evidence that they've adjusted the price of what they're selling at to make sure they're pricing people in, because there is a big affordability problem, particularly in the south of England. And again, the data's there, and I'm happy to share it with you to show that the builders have adjusted their pricing basically to try and open up the market. Because a bit like, what really matters to estate agents, house builders, lenders is people moving home and liquidity, right? Builders can't afford to sort of hold out for a price and nothing sells basically. So, and that's again where they need the advice of agents and other people to make sure they get their pricing proper. I think the other thing I would say again, particularly in the south of England now, and maybe in the Midlands, we can see from the data of the inquiries we send to estate agents and builders, people are looking further afield now. I mean, the old adage that 80% of people move within 5 miles might be correct, but actually, when we look at half of people, we're sending a lead for a new home to an estate agent or a house builder, and for people who live in the south of England, half are now looking more than 10 miles away. So housing markets are going to get bigger. And so house builders cannot afford just to market locally anymore. Do you know what I mean? You can't spend all your pay per click, PPC, social and everything within 5 miles of the site, because there might be people who want to buy, but they're further afield. And this is I think a challenge. This is the future of search now, which is affordability is going to change not just housing markets, but how far people are looking. What can I afford is going to sort of drive more home buying decisions, even more so than it has in the past.
Thank you for your time today, Richard.